Okay, the augmented six chords. Now, this is that group of three chords that we looked at before that have kind of curious nationalities associated with them, the Italian, French, and German. So, before we get into that, let's do the same thing we did with Neapolitan and let's look at something in context. So, I have here just a quick, short little passage from Mozart, Piano Sonata in D major, third movement. Um, so we're well into this piece. This is the third movement. This is the 122nd bar. So we're not actually in D major here. We're actually in D minor at this particular moment. So let's just label that correctly to set ourselves up for success here. Okay, so we are in D minor. Let's hear this. Now, this is a quick passage that goes by really fast, but I'm going to leave the tempo really slow so that we can hear what's happening here. Couple notational things I just want to point out. We have here two voices in the right hand, so I put this big rest here because the second voice doesn't come until here, and this voice actually goes from this D down to this A, and then this voice goes, and then these two notes, and then these two notes, right? So there's kind of a, I guess that's a voice crossing, but this is piano music, so it's not, voice crossing isn't as big of a deal as it is in vocal music or strict counterpoint. Either way, this is what Mozart wrote, and we're not going to call Mozart wrong, so it's a voice crossing. It's okay. He did it. Okay, so let's hear it. Okay, so starts on D, ends on D. So let's see what we've got here. Now, obviously, you know the name of the game, that there's going to be something really weird here. Let's just scan through. Where could it be? It might be on this B natural. That's really strange. Well, that's not really strange, but it's an out of key note. And remember, we're still talking about chromatic chords here. Chords that are out of key or have something out of key to them. Like in the Neapolitan, we had to alter some notes to make that happen. So it's a chromatic chord. And that's still what we're talking about. These are not chords that are going to exist naturally in a key. We have to do something extra to get to them. So it could be that F sharp, could be that B natural, could be that G sharp. That's an F natural, that's okay. And C sharp. So just a courtesy accidental here. Could be this C sharp. Probably not the C sharp though, right? Because we're in a minor key, and that C sharp's going to make a leading tone into that D. So that's almost expected, right? That's going to make a major 5 chord. In fact, we can probably just guess right here we've got some kind of cadential 6/4 happening here to 1, right? So 5/6/4, 5/3 to 1. It just sounds like it. Without even thinking about it, I'm sure we can call it that. 6/4, I'm just going to do this kind of shorthand. 6/4, 5/3. Not 64/53, but you get it. And then 1. So we know what that is. What about that? We already have something really strange. So these next 3 chords are going to be a little tricky. Let's see if we can figure them out. So we have C, F sharp, and D. What could we call that? Let's see if we can find a way to get those into a triad, right? So we have C, F sharp, and D. Well, I see that second right there, so that tells me I could get them if I used D as the root, D D, F sharp, A, C. So we're missing the A, but that makes a triad of a D7 chord. D major 7th chord. What? We're in D minor here. Things are getting weird. Okay, so this we're gonna call, I'm just gonna call it D major with a minor 7th on it. That's what that is. So let's just file that away for a second. And so let me put another thing here. Let's do question mark 7. It's some kind of dominant 7, right? Because it's a major chord with a minor 7th. So it's something. And if it's a major chord with a minor 7th, but it's a major 1 chord, that's odd, but that probably points us to a secondary dominant, right? So what would D major be the secondary dominant of? It would be 4. So a good guess would be that this is 5/7 of 4. Now we expect 4 to be minor though. So it's 5/7 of a minor 4 is probably what we're looking at. Okay, did we all get how I came up with that? We figured out that it was a D major chord with a minor 7th. That means it's a D7 chord. Okay, so if it's a dominant 7th chord built on D, the odds are that it's going to be a secondary dominant, and a D7 in the key of D minor would be a secondary dominant of 4. It would be 5 of 4. Now we can confirm that if this is in fact a 4 chord. So let's see if that is a 4, because that would confirm that hypothesis. Let's see here. We have a B natural, G, and D. Let's go out here and let's try to see what we can do here. So we have a B, we have a G, and a D. Oh, actually, G, B, D. Right? So we have a G major chord, which is our 4. So that works. However, we have a G major chord. So that means we have 5 of minor 4 here, because that's what we expect is that minor 4, but what we actually get is major 4. That's okay. We can write it like that. 5 of minor, so we leave this minor to show that that is what is expected. But what we actually get is major. That's okay. It's weird, but it's okay. Mozart can do it. Not everybody can do it, but Mozart can. Okay, so now we've solved this little riddle. Now we get to this one. Let's look at our notes in this chord. So we have a B flat. Let's go here. Okay, B flat, which is actually in key, right? It's in our key signature. B flat, we have a G sharp, and we have a D. And we have another D. Okay, so we have those 3 notes. So we already know something's fishy here because we have opposing accidentals. We have a flat and a sharp in the same chord. Whenever you see that, you know something strange is happening. Something augmented is happening, basically, in order for that to happen. Now, you don't need to see that, the 2 different kinds of accidentals, in order for this thing to be true, this augmented 6 chord, but that does make an augmented 6. There are ways to get an augmented 6 without those, though. Okay, so we clearly have here an augmented 6 chord. Let's go to a new video and pull this apart a little harder.